A brief history of product management. Why a strong product culture matters. As the saying goes, there are many roads to Rome. There are certainly many very successful companies with very poor products. Some companies are favored by regulators and offer a product or service where competition is limited. Others rely on operational excellence to sell average products to consumers at very low prices. Still others manage to sell mediocre products through clever sales tactics. A product does not have to be superior for a company to succeed. However, with digital products, it is becoming increasingly difficult for companies to compete without developing good products. And the few companies that succeed in developing great digital products tend to have a lasting competitive advantage. Experience has shown time and again that only companies with a strong product culture develop great digital products. So, what is a strong product culture? Like any corporate culture, it consists of a set of shared beliefs. These companies believe that certain practices, processes, frameworks, and capabilities are best suited to develop products that exceed customer expectations and achieve superior commercial success. These principles or frameworks emphasize that we must first thoroughly understand our customers' problems before we can think about solutions. It also emphasizes that we must systematically explore multiple alternatives to find an effective solution to a problem. It also advocates iterative product development and testing between product iterations to get feedback from real customers. Finally, it proposes to focus not only on the development of digital products, but also on the distribution of these products in the market. But digital product management didn't start that way. In the 70s and 80s, software was the domain of experts only. Apart from arcade games, few people came into contact with software apart from a few employees. These end users were experts, and software developers assumed that they knew exactly what they needed or wanted to use the software successfully. As a result, the analysts or product managers focused on gathering user requirements, getting prescriptions for a solution, and generally not understanding the underlying problem of these professionals. In this type of environment, the analysts or product managers create functional or technical specifications for the software engineers who develop and deliver the software. The relationship between product managers and customers was based on inputs and outputs. The product managers received the requirements as inputs and produced the software functions as outputs. In the mid-90s and even more so in the 21st century, software became a consumer product. The internet and smartphones made virtually everyone a software user. The most successful technology companies understood that software development had to adapt to this changing environment in order to survive. They took inspiration from the consumer products industry, where product managers had been acting as CEO of their products since the 1950s or 1960s. In a company like General Mills, a product manager was responsible for market research, understanding the competition, coordinating marketing campaigns, developing packaging, and many other functions necessary for product success. Companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Facebook helped establish processes inspired by the consumer products industry, where product managers acted more like the CEO of a product than an analyst receiving requirements from a user. Instead of collecting requirements, they focused on understanding exactly what the problems were for their users, whether consumers or business users. And instead of being responsible for delivering features, they became responsible for the financial success of their products, which required them to define and monitor key success metrics. If you think that most companies understand the changes of the last 25 years, unfortunately, you are wrong. Most companies act as if the last 25 years never happened. They barely understand the problems their software solves and usually start with random ideas. They do not consider alternative solutions, but rush to implement whatever feature they think of first. They do not build software iteratively or run experiments to scientifically prove if a feature is contributing to the product strategy or increasing customer satisfaction. And they hardly think about the challenges of distributing the software product once it has been developed. Fortunately, there is another way. That is what we are going to discuss in the next chapter.